We all know that Tennessee is very popular with tourists as a hot vacation spot. Well, in our next story, Miranda Cohen explains that people aren't the only visitors flocking to the volunteer state year after year. That's what she discovered at the Seven Islands State Birding Park.
Claire DeTillo and Stephanie Mueller, their days start early. Their morning commute is quite spectacular, and their office is all 416 glorious acres of the Seven Islands State Birding Park. In her third year as a park ranger, Stephanie Mueller is still in awe of her workplace.
I love that every day is different out here. I come to work and I don't know 100% how my day is going to go. I love that expect the unexpected kind of thing.
But what Mueller and the park's interpretive specialist, Claire DeTillo, have come to expect is people flocking from all over the country to see the magnificent wildlife that call this glorious forest at the foot of the Smokies home. In particular, the birds.
So we're the only state birding park with that in our title.
Sure, you can watch our feathered friends other places, but the Seven Islands State Birding Park is the only park with birding actually in their name. And you would be hard-pressed to find more beautiful species all in one location.
There have been over 220 species found in the park. It's because we have different habitats for different types of birds.
Land and structures once owned by private families and used for farming. Now they have all been donated, and they are all being put to very good use.
We have 3 barns that are original to the farmland that was here. We have the Bluebird barn at the entrance to the park, and the maintenance barn, which is also known as the Swallows of the River, or Swallows of the Window barn, and then the Maple Leaf barn at the end of the road. They're all named after the barn quilts that are on them. The birds do use them though. We're one of the few places in Knox County that you can somewhat regularly see barn owls and in the barn.
Don't be surprised if you see 5 types of owls, bobwhite quails, even endangered gray bats, plus many others.
We have woodland areas, we have the grassland areas, we have wetlands, we have the river, and so you can just see a good variety. Most of our park focuses on grassland habitat and ground nesting birds, and that's because the ground nesting birds are some of the most quickly declining species in North America.
Today is a special day for the rangers, staff, and volunteers. They call it bird banding.
3, 6, 5, 2.
And we do bird banding out here spring through fall for the most part, and we basically catch the birds in mist nets, so they're a really fine mesh, soft net that the birds fly into.
A tiny metal band will be placed around the bird's leg, and they will be carefully examined to determine health and migratory habits.
This is a male indigo bunting. Very pretty iridescent feathers.
We take measurements on their wing, their tail length, their weight. We determine whether it's a male or a female, and we determine how old the birds are based on their molt and their plumage.
The rangers here at the Seven Islands State Birding Park will band these birds to find out a lot of information, such as age, weight, health, and longevity. And once they're done, these beauties are ready to go. And once the birds are off, they don't go very far. They seem to love it here too. Through the information collected from the bands, the rangers can tell some of these birds have been vacationing in Tennessee for years. And who could blame them? The park offers an array of fun things to do.
Probably the biggest attraction is walking down our paved ADA trail to the bridge on the French Broad River. We have a pedestrian bridge that it crosses the French Broad River over to Newman Island, which is one of the islands that is part of the park. It's just a beautiful walk, and along the way you see all sorts of different habitats.
It's a nice quiet spot where they can come, peaceful and serene, and they can kind of recharge their batteries and just take a break. And there's so much to see and do here. You can walk, you can do birding, you can go on a guided hike. We have biking allowed on our paved trails. There's just so much to see and do here.
As you may have guessed, education and conservation is a huge part of what the staff and the feathered ambassadors do here at the park. A guided tour with a ranger can show you how you can greatly help the environment and maybe even create your own little wildlife oasis.
We have in the front of our park, we have the Wild Yards Garden, and the whole purpose of that area is to teach people about the importance of native plants and how to attract wildlife to your yard and basically do what we're doing out here, but on a smaller scale in a landscaping way to benefit wildlife in your own yard.
I think it is a great place for people to come and get away from the hustle and bustle of society. Sometimes you just need some outdoor therapy, some nature therapy. When you get people, you can tell people and teach people about it all the time in a classroom or read a book, but when they actually see it and experience firsthand, they develop a more compassion for it, and then by developing that compassion, by doing it, they are then more likely to be conservationists themselves and have a reason to want to save the environment or help save the birds.
Hey, how'd you like the story? We'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you enjoyed it, we have a lot more where that came from. Here's one you might like. And please click here to subscribe so you'll know when we premiere new videos. Thanks for watching.